Today, we are going to be talking about the Mckenzie Interchange, how it all started, why was it built, and what was the traffic like before and after. But first, let's dive into the history lesson. The Mckenzie intersection with the Highway 1 was first built in the 1950s. Traffic wasn't a problem back then, but then as the city of Victoria, as well as the western communities, including Langford, Colwood and such grew, the traffic on Highway 1 as well as surrounding streets became unmanageable. It was locally nicknamed the Colwood Crawl. Rush hour, traffic on Mckenzie would back up all the way to Quadra Street. On Highway 1, in morning rush hour, traffic would back all the way up to Langford. And during the afternoon rush hour, traffic would back all the way up to Uptown's shopping center. Something had to be done. So in 2015, a proposal of series of interchanges were introduced. Before the 2015 proposals, an interchange was actually proposed here at the Mckenzie and Highway 1 intersection in the mid-1990s. However, it got cancelled due to a lack of funding, because that was the year when Helmcken and Colwood got their own interchange as well as Highway 1 expansion into 4 lanes from 2. The project then remained dormant 20 years later until 2015. That is when the Transportation and Infrastructure Department announced 3 different designs of potential interchanges at this Mckenzie and Highway 1 intersection. The first option was to have the Highway 1 going under Mckenzie Avenue. This option costed the most, and it was not as efficient as the other 2 designs. However, it would require the least amount of space. This project was made especially difficult by the lack of space. There was the Culper's Homes Park to the south, as well as St. Joseph's School to the north. This means 2 different very important land has to be sacrificed somehow. But options 1 and 3 are diamond interchanges, so they would require the least amount of land sacrification. Option 2 is the one that really stands out. It is a partial clover leaf design. It operates more efficiently than the other 2 diamond designs. It is the most cost-effective. It is also the safest design of all the 3 designs available. However, there is one downfall. It would require the most land being sacrificed. Option 3 is the same design as the option 1. Both are diamond interchanges. With option 3, however, the traffic on Highway 1 goes over Mckenzie Avenue, but this design is the least favored. The traffic would create loud noise to nearby residents, as well as the lack of safety in this design, and a lack of traffic efficiency. So it is no surprise that the option 2, the partial cloverleaf, was chosen for construction. It was the most efficient, the safest, as well as the most cost-effective, as you actually remove 1 less traffic light for morning rush hour traffic coming onto Mckenzie Avenue. This design would shave 20 minutes off commuters each way during morning and afternoon rush hours. It had an estimated price tag of $85 million. By June of 2016, environmental assessments began. The interchange was made build possible after purchasing the school's land at St. Joseph's, as well as environmental assessments that tried to minimize the sacrification of Culper's Homes Park. This involved tree planting, invasive species removal, path building, and vegetation on the slopes. Construction was finally began on the first day of October 2016. With the construction, however, there came new challenges. After the construction started, the delays got even worse than it was before, even before construction delays were already bad enough. The plan was to build the on-ramps first, and then have moved the traffic lights to the end of each on-ramp like a diamond interchange. In fact, this interchange functioned as a diamond interchange at one point during its construction when the traffic lights were removed on Highway 1. Because the highway was built in a narrow trough between the rocks had to be blasted in order to fit the interchange in. This resulted in highway closures, as you guessed it, or disruptions to the traffic. Because the Mckenzie Interchange also involved reconstruction and widening a section of the Galloping Goose, a new bridge for the Galloping Goose Trail had to be built. So by 2017, parts of the Galloping Goose were closed and stripped, at least in some ways, as I have a video of it I made 3, 4, 5 years ago. With the construction started in October 2016, it was supposed to be finished in October of 2018, and by mid-2017 the construction was still looking good and on track. In December of 2017, however, something unexpected happened. Victoria was hit by hurricane-force winds, causing massive damage to the structure of the interchange. This would need to cause a lot of undoing, and this pushed the construction finish time to the end of 2019. It delayed the project by 1 whole year. By summer of 2018, the south ramp was first opened to traffic. This was the first time that traffic could actually leave the original highway alignment and drive onto the new alignment that's part of the project's off-ramp for the southbound. Around the same time, the new bridge for the Galloping Goose that goes over the Mckenzie Interchange area also opened. It was 6 meters wide, the widest section of any parts of the Galloping Goose Trail, including any non-bridges. By November of 2018, the original completion date, the new south ramp was finished. This eliminated all traffic from the original highway alignment. Now we've reached the most difficult part of this project. There are pipes underneath the original highway that has to be relocated, as well as the digging and lowering the original highway surface by as much as 8 meters to allow the new underpass. In April of 2019, the Ministry of Transportation announced yet another delay, this time into the summer of 2020. This is due to the snowstorms and blizzards of February 2019 that hit Victoria that delayed the project for about a month. As construction went dormant on the project for more than a month during those snowstorms. By summer of 2019, the concrete beams for the bridge were lifted after the original highway alignment was lowered by 8 meters, and the bridge was completed by October of that year. This was the first time that traffic flowed over the new bridge over the original highway alignment. However, just before the new bridge opened, the new aligned traffic lights malfunctioned on the morning it was supposed to be turned on, so one lane had to be shut, and traffic was then had to be controlled by a flagger. This caused the delay time to be twice as long as the original already bad delays. By Christmas of 2019, 2 months later after the traffic nightmare incident, the traffic lights on Highway 1 were eliminated for the first time. The opening and removal of traffic lights was made in fact 1 month ahead of schedule. It was like a Christmas present for all the drivers. Even with the remaining traffic lights on the on-ramp still, some motorists claim that their arrival to work was faster by as much as 20 to 25 minutes. "The cork is finally out of the bottle," said another motorist. 1 month later, the underpass section of the interchange was flooded by heavy rains. This caused a morning closure and disruption to the rush hour traffic. The water had to be pumped out by temporary storm drains until a more permanent one was redesigned and put in place. By August 2020, the Mckenzie Interchange was declared substantially complete according to the Ministry of Transportation, which means there is no more work on the structure itself and all work is left is landscaping. The project did experience cost overruns. The original cost estimated was $85 million. However, due to the snowstorm and other delays and issues, The final cost was $95 million, $10 million over the budget. Overall, I think the Mckenzie Interchange helped traffic dramatically and sort of made Colwood Crawl a thing of the past, although there will be still slight delays during rush hour traffic. It is negligible compared to what it was before prior to the construction and during construction of the interchange. Finally, in January 2021, the speed limits prior to construction were restored, the landscaping was complete, and the interchange was declared 100% finished.